So this morning I was just thinking about, well, in this last week actually, I think a lot about the voice in our heads, the talking, and who do we talk to? And I think that's really what meditation's all about, is realizing that the one doing the talking is not you. That's the mind, and it has its place. It's a wonderful thing, but you're the silent witness of that. You're the one that's been listening to that without really participating in your true nature, as they would call it in Zen. What's aware in you has identified with the voice in our heads. And the practice of meditation is just bringing those back into their proper perspective. What's aware in us is our true nature. And it is silent, and it never changes. And I find a good meditation is just to not so much try to still the mind as watch the mind. Watch what the thoughts are that pop up in your head, what you're saying to yourself. Be yourself and not the dialogue, is what I guess I'm trying to say. Is making that shift is really the shift that we're looking for, is recognizing that the thoughts that we're having, the thoughts that are appearing, are not us. We're the one that's silently witnessing them. But if we mistake ourselves from them, then our thoughts become very troublesome. So in these times, I was watching some of my thoughts yesterday, and they wanted to reoccur. I had something that was nagging at my mind. I can't even remember what it is now, but it was just interesting and a great meditation just to see how repetitive it wanted to jump up. It was something that my mind had caught on to and didn't want to let go of. And it was quite a chore, actually. I kept detaching from it and sitting back into what I like to call the seat of awareness. And I kind of came up with that from our Indian teacher. Who used to tell us when we went to the movies to stay in your chair. And what he meant by that was what's conscious in us, our awareness, does become, or often we take on the role of the movie. We live through the movies that we watch. And that's what we're doing with our minds as well. We're living through our minds, but we are not our minds. And sorting that out is the process. So today, just in our meditation, don't worry if your mind is saying a lot of stuff, or maybe it's caught on something like mine was yesterday. And just being aware of that is a great meditation. It forces you to realize that you are separate from that thought. And that takes the power away from that thought. Then once you get your identity out of that and in the belief that that's you, then everything gets a lot easier. So today's meditation, I want to make it as relaxing and as comfortable as possible. So get comfortable wherever you are. Hopefully you're in a nice, comfortable, quiet place. But if not, make it so. By that, I mean, a lot of times I enjoy meditation in a busy spot where it's difficult to meditate. I find it challenging, and I like to do it. I like to challenge myself. If there's things going on, by just mentally stepping back, internally stepping back into awareness. And nobody notices, you can be, sometimes I'm in a very crowded group of people where a lot of people are talking, sharing ideas and things. And I'll step back into that seat of awareness, unnoticed, and just maybe be quiet for 10 or 15 minutes, or 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. And I really enjoy those kinds of meditation where you just, whatever you're doing, you disengage and you step back into that seat and become the watcher of the movie rather than the movie itself. So get comfortable. And today I'd like to do just a few breathing exercises to start. And not so much exercises, but just being aware of our breathing and making it comfortable and increasing the flow of the breath and slowing it down. As we slow our breath down, our minds tend to follow. So if you're in a nice, relaxed, easy breath, the mind starts to slow. And I like to try to get a breathing pattern of at least 10 to 15 seconds in and 10 to 15 seconds out. And I like to notice the pause where the breath turns. That's the way Swami Lakshmanju always taught meditation, was to just be aware of the silence or the still space that the breath was always coming and going from. And it's really easy to notice that in the turning of the breath. So just get quiet, or get comfortable rather, and relax. And we won't go through all of the body of relaxing. You guys are good at this now. So just turn your awareness to your body and make sure that it is relaxed. We're going to start to put bigger and bigger spaces throughout our meditation. And when that space is there, just be aware of the space. And whatever happens in that space. So as we sit relaxed, I want you to notice your breathing and slowly increase the breath, not by straining or anything, just a full lung of air in through a slow, even inhalation. And then a pause. And then a long, slow exhalation of whatever's comfortable, don't strain. And when you get to the bottom, hold it out for a second or two and enjoy the empty space. Breathing in slowly, pausing, giving a full attention to that space of no thought. Letting everything else exist, all the sounds around us, any sensations on your skin. I've got a beautiful breeze blowing over my body and skin. And I love to pay attention to that in meditation. Just being aware of the present moment. So relaxing, and then the feeling is feeling that air and feeling your body. Whatever position you're in is fine. Just noticing the energy that makes up your body. Try to keep the breath going. Keep some awareness on it. The amazing thing about us is when you step back into awareness with no dialogue, you can be aware of hundreds of things at the same time. It's when we pay too much attention to our minds that we lose sight of reality, really. We lose sight of the present moment, which is the only real thing there is. The last moment's already gone, and the next moment's not here. That's the way it is. That's reality. And too many times we slip into the dream of thought, and we don't hear the birds around us, and we don't feel our bodies, and we don't even really know what our minds are saying. And that's why sometimes it's referred to as consciousness sleeping. Awakening is always now. Paying attention to this moment and giving it your full attention. Our breathing helps to keep us centered there, because you can only breathe now. You can only feel right now. And you can only listen right now. So just stay with your senses and with your breathing. And notice the stillness that's always there in the background that we mostly overlook. It is like coming home, resting in your true self and that seat of awareness without a story. Peace and that stillness is always there. You just have to look for it and relax into it. Let your breathing hold you there steadily. So we're not shutting ourselves off. We're opening ourselves up to whatever's happening. There's tons of activity even in this stillness. Our bodies are constantly repairing themselves. Feel it. In fact, feeling your body's energy helps to speed the repairing process. So much of our energy is lost through thinking. Feel your body light up as you breathe in. After all, every breath is prana, life-giving energy. And when you're relaxed and feeling, your body glows with that energy. That energy increases. So we don't do anything. We just settle back into that seat of awareness and pay attention to all the things that we normally overlook, all the things that are happening in this moment. And notice if your mind gets antsy and wants to get your attention. Stepping back from the thoughts in the mind starts to relax in that time, much like a muscle that you've been working too hard. And the mind gets repaired and clearer. And the more our minds get caught in thought, the more tension accrues in our bodies or accumulates in our shoulders. And we get so lost in the stories of our mind that we lose touch with feeling and breathing, hearing the birds, feeling the air on your skin. Another fun thing to do in meditation without thought is just keep directing your attention to different things without a story. Direct your attention to your hands and feet and the sensations in your hands and feet. Just don't let the mind talk about it. You can pinpoint any sound that you hear without a story. Turn your attention to your breathing. You can take in everything at once, or you can pinpoint your awareness. But let the mind rest. And don't be rigid with your posture. If you're uncomfortable, it's not about the position, it's about where your awareness is. Are you slipping into any internal dialogue, or are you just present, feeling, listening, breathing? So we're not wrestling with our minds, we're being good to our minds by letting them rest. They work hard, just like our muscles. It's our thinking that gets things done. But the mind needs rest. And it needs a master. You need to know what your mind is thinking. Lie down if you wish, or walk around. Once you get established in stillness, you can walk and open your eyes and look. And when you do look, treat looking like listening. Whatever you're looking at, don't let the mind make a story about it. See clearly, it's the mind that talks, and the awareness is still. You are always aware. That's our true nature. It's good to stay in your seat. And when the mind gets involved in some worry or fear, you recognize that you're in the seat and it's the mind that has its problems, fears, worries. But what's aware in us is always free and eternal. And it truly is as simple as just stepping back. You may need to use the tools of relax, feel, and listen. I am always here, even when the mind is not. See for yourself. You're more you when the mind is still than ever before, more aware of everything. Is your breathing still deep and relaxed? Keep some of your awareness alertly looking for any internal dialogue from the mind. As you keep your awareness on your mind, the mind quiets. Turning your full attention to your mind, it is quiet. It's only when our awareness gets sleepy that the dreams of thoughts begin. So stay alert. Feeling, listening, breathing. There's no dreaming. You see that when you're in the seat of awareness, that if a thought starts to arise, you can not finish it. Your awareness catches it, and your mind releases it. Every time you turn your awareness to your mind, it releases. Hopefully, as the mind releases the thoughts, the body relaxes and becomes normal. Its natural resting state without tension. Your breath becomes easy and relaxed. It's just a very subtle, simple shift from thinking to awareness. minds try to make something complex and hard about meditation. There's nothing hard about it. It's just a letting go, a release of thought, staying in your seat. Resting in the peace of being. Doing is awareness going outward. Being is settling back into the seat of awareness, where everything is always okay. The more you practice, the better you become at stepping out of the chaos of the mind and the activities of the world. Taking little pauses, mini meditations, I call them. In a way, we're training our minds to relax when we want them to, so that they become so much more efficient. Then what you do think about is clear, and your mind won't repeat things so much. Notice when your mind has a thought and it keeps repeating the same thought over and over. You have to step into the seat of awareness and stop it. It's as simple as putting your full attention. And if the thought's been repeating itself for a long time, it may take several times of you turning your full attention to thinking to get the mind to release it. That's okay. Be patient. But see clearly you have the power to release thought. Be yourself. Once you find that stillness, don't be afraid to go deep. It's bottomless, endless. The deeper you go, the more peaceful it is. You're still aware of your body and the things going on around you, but you, awareness, are in the depth of yourself, where you came from, and where we're constantly returning in deep sleep. It's never not there. It's like diving into a deep pool, turning your awareness inward. See how deep you can go. Even if your eyes are closed, make sure they're relaxed. The Gita recommends looking down towards your nose and the relaxed closing of the eyes. And I find that restful. Sometimes even with our eyes closed, they move around a lot. Let them rest. See that it's your awareness that sees through the eyes. Even with your eyes closed, you're seeing through your eyes. Awareness uses our ears, our eyes, our brain, but it's unattached. What's aware in us is forever free and universal. It's not what the eyes can see, but that by which the eyes can see. It's not what the ears can hear, but that by which the ears hear. And it's the same for thinking. It's that by which the mind can think. Feel. Our bodies and minds are a vehicle for awareness. So notice too, what's aware in you, has it ever aged in any way? It's always the same. Everything we're aware of is constantly changing, but awareness itself never ever changes. Turning your awareness towards your breath, you can control your breath, the amount of inhalation, the exhalation. You can be aware of the pause. Relax like this, you can see clearly that you can take your awareness out of thought anytime you wish. Our time is coming close, so we've got 10 minutes left, but I always like to acknowledge what we've gone through, acknowledge the experience of playing around with your awareness, moving your awareness to different parts of your experience, focusing it on thought or on the stillness or on sounds, feelings. It's about the experience, not about the ideas that the mind has about meditation. It's stepping back and realizing my true nature is that I'm aware. And whenever you're ready, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, let sight become like listening. You can gently open your eyes. Look around without a story about what you're seeing. Shapes, the colors. So peaceful when there's no story about it. Hopefully you'll use this time as we have more time to ourselves and in our confinement to get in touch with your true self. Step back from the doing and listen to the sounds around you and feel your body. Take a few conscious breaths where you're relaxed, attentive to the breathing. Pay attention to your thoughts in these times too. What does your mind think about most of the day? Be alert. Check in with your thoughts. Don't just let thoughts run you. If worries are to come in and fear, step back into your seat of awareness. Take a couple of conscious breaths. Feel your body, loosen the tension, relax. So I hope this helps, and practice. Every time you quiet your mind, you make it easier for people around you to quiet theirs. If you have any questions or comments, if Cheryl's there,